Good afternoon, students. Today we are going to discuss on uncertainty principle. As per uncertainty principle, it is fundamentally impossible to determine two conjugate pairs of variables simultaneously to an accuracy better than h cut by 2, where h cut is the reduced Planck's constant, that is h by 2 pi, h being the Planck's constant. Now, the point is here two things to note. First of all, uncertainty principle is valid for different conjugate pairs. I will talk more about conjugate pairs, but the point is it is uh, basically associated with some conjugate pairs of variables. And as per this principle, if you can measure one of those variables accurately, if you are able to measure one of those variables accurately, then it is impossible. I'm not saying improbable. I'm saying it is impossible to measure simultaneously the other variable accurately. I'm giving the example, it will be helpful. One of the conjugate pairs are position and momentum along that direction. Those who have studied uncertainty principle before, you have read that it is impossible to determine position and momentum simultaneously with highest accuracy. Like this. That was the statement probably you have read. But the point is, momentum is not a scalar quantity. Momentum is a vector. We all know about it. Because momentum is mass into velocity, and velocity has magnitude as well as direction. So momentum has magnitude as well as direction. Therefore, whenever you are saying momentum, automatically the question comes in which direction. Therefore, here, suppose a particle is moving along x direction. So this is the direction along which a particle is moving. Now, during its motion, I want to estimate two quantities. During its motion, I want to estimate at any time what is the position. That means I want whether the particle is at this position. So I want to know the position of the particle during its motion. And I want to know the momentum along that direction. That means if this is x direction, then I want to know x coordinate and momentum along x direction, that is px. These two quantities I want to know simultaneously. At the same time, I want to know these two quantities. And it is observed that these two quantities are conjugate pairs. That means, as per uncertainty principle, if you can measure the position x accurately, of course, your accuracy depends on the instrument you are using, but still, if you can measure x accurately, in other words, the measurement error in x is very small, because we are saying we are measuring it with highest accuracy. Very high accuracy we can measure the position. That means error in measurement is very small. That means uncertainty in measurement of x is very small. Then it is impossible to measure px simultaneously with very high accuracy. That means measurmental error measurmental error for px will be very high. That is the fundamental thing in uncertainty principle. That if for a conjugate pair like position and momentum along that direction, if you can measure one quantity accurately, that means the error in measurement is very low. Then other quantity cannot be measured with high accuracy simultaneously. Simultaneously you cannot measure. Of course, after some time you can measure it, but simultaneous measurement is not possible. But okay, before that, suppose now the particle is moving along y direction. Then the same situation, you cannot measure y and py. Py is the momentum along y direction. You cannot measure these two quantities simultaneously with high accuracy. If you can measure one quantity accurately, suppose you are measuring py accurately, then you have to sacrifice y measurement. That means there will be high error in measurement of y. Similarly for z. But suppose the particle is moving along x direction, this one, and you want to measure x and py. Of course, you understand py will be 0 here. Or suppose the particle is going along this direction. Okay. So you want to measure x position along x direction and momentum along y direction. These are the two quantities you want to measure. Position along x direction, momentum along y direction. Then they are not conjugate pairs. So these two quantities can be measured simultaneously with high accuracy. No problem. So the point is conjugate pair for position momentum should be momentum is along that direction of position. Therefore, if you want to measure x py possible, x pz possible, because py pz are not in the direction of x. So simultaneous measurement of x py x pz possible. Similarly, y px y pz possible. Z px z py possible, but x px y py z pz are not possible. Not possible to measure simultaneously and accurately these two quantities. That means if there is a if you can measure x accurately, that means error in measurement of x is very small. Then error in measurement of px, or uncertainty in measurement of px will be very large. So that is given by uncertainty principle. So always it is better that we will compromise both quantities to some extent. Other conjugate pairs, energy and time, they are also conjugate pairs. That means if you can measure the energy of associated with a particle accurately, then you cannot measure the time of stay of that particle. As for example, when we talk about defined energy levels in quantum mechanics or in laser, you will understand it in a much detailed way. But still, suppose these are defined energy levels. Energy levels means, you know from Bohr theory that whenever electrons are rotating around the nucleus, they are rotating in certain orbits. That was the Bohr theory. Electrons cannot rotate around the nucleus in any orbit. There are certain orbits having certain energies. So suppose this is say energy for K shell. This is for say energy for K shell. I am writing say E1. This is the energy for L shell, and so on. So now the point is, we can say suppose this one is your ground state energy, lowest energy, and this is the fast excited state energy. If you can excite, if you can the point is always in this universe, each object, whether the object is very tiny or heavy, an electron or me, or it is always the whatever particle you think of, it always wants to stay at the lowest possible energy level. That means if it is the lowest possible energy level, I will try to stay in this lowest energy level. Similarly, the electron will also want to stay in the lowest possible energy level. Now, somehow, by supplying some amount of energy, if you can move that electron to higher energy, then after some time it will come back, because it doesn't prefer to stay there. It doesn't prefer to stay in high energy level. It automatically comes down. So I'm not going to discuss detail on it. My point is, suppose you want to measure this energy level, E2 level. If you want to measure this energy level and you want to measure the time of stay of the electron here, how much time the electron stays, whether it is 10 to the power minus 4 second, whether it is 10 to the power minus 7 second, what is that time that you want to measure? Then according to uncertainty principle, if you can measure energy E2 accurately, then you cannot measure the time of stay of the electron T at E2 accurately. You have to sacrifice one, or it is always wise to sacrifice both to some extent, so that error in neither will be very high. So that we always try to measure those quantities in such a way that neither of the quantities have high value of error. that means very high inaccuracy, very high uncertainty. That is not preferable. It is true we cannot measure very accurately, but then also it is also true that um, inaccuracy in measurement will not be very high also in both the cases. So energy and time are also conjugate pairs. Another important one is angular momentum and angular position. So these are the basic three pairs of variables which are treated as conjugate pair of variables for which uncertainty principle is valid. So one, position and momentum along that direction, energy, time, and angular momentum, angular position. And what would be the mathematical statement? This what I said is conceptual thing. But for a scientist or engineer, you require mathematical statement always. So if I use the first conjugate pair, that is moment position and momentum along that direction, and if delta x and delta px be the uncertainties in measurement of position x and momentum px along x direction, then according to uncertainty principle, delta x delta px must be greater than equal to a constant value. So what is delta x delta px? Delta x delta px is the uncertainty in measurement. What does in your simple language, it is just like error. Whenever you do some experiment, like you have done some experiments in physics, you have already observed that we cannot measure our variables accurately. Why is it so? Due to limited accuracy of the instrument we are using. And that's why we are getting some error in measurement. So in all measurement cases, due to inaccuracy of the instrument, we get some error. And you can treat these quantities as that errors. So delta x is the error in measurement of position. So whenever you are trying to measure the position x, then what is the amount of uncertainty, amount of error in that measurement will be delta x. Since uncertainty, if you cannot understand uncertainty quietly, so you think of it as error. Similarly, delta px is the uncertainty in measurement of momentum px. That means whenever we want to measure the momentum px along x direction, then the uncertainty in measurement, that is error in measurement, is delta px. And mathematical statement is that the product of these two errors, the product of these two uncertainties is always greater than equal to some value, some constant. Initially, that constant was taken to be Planck's constant h. Then with some mathematical accuracy, it is observed to be h by 2. And finally, it is said that it is h cut by 2. H cut means again, it is the reduced Planck's constant, that is h by 2 pi. That means if now you think if you can measure x very accurately, suppose you are measuring x very accurately, x accurate, towards accurate, you cannot measure accurately, but very high accuracy say. So x is measured with high accuracy. What does that mean? What will be the error in measurement of delta x? It will be tends to 0. Delta x will be very small because you are saying you have measured x with highest accuracy possible. So delta x, that means error in measurement, is very small towards 0. Therefore, from this expression you can understand delta px will be very high. Then delta px goes towards infinity, very high. Why it is very high? Because right hand side is a constant. If one quantity is very low, other quantity must be very high. So if delta x is very small, delta px must be very high. If delta x is very high, delta px will be very small. That's why I said that it is always better that keep delta x as value, delta px another value. None of them is close to 0. And if none of them is close to 0, then none of them will be very high also. So we get moderate value, which is permissible. So mathematical statement for the first conjugate pair, delta x delta px greater than equal to h cat by 2. Similarly, here I am considering x direction. You can consider y direction. You can consider z direction also. That means delta y delta py will be greater than equal to h cat by 2, or delta z delta pz greater than equal to h cat by 2. Same thing. If we use the second conjugate pair, similarly we can say if delta E and delta T are the uncertainties in measurement of energy and time, then according to uncertainty principle, delta E into delta T greater than equal to h cat by 2. Same thing. So if you are asked to write down the statement, my suggestion, you will write down the general statement and then the mathematical one. If it is not mentioned for which conjugate pairs, you can first you will write general, like we have written it here. It is fundamentally impossible to determine two conjugate pair of variables simultaneously with an accuracy better than h cat by 2. Then you will give an example. Say you will use position momentum. Now we can use uncertainty for numerical problems. We can use this uncertainty for several proofs. Like we can prove with the uncertainty principle only that electron cannot exist within a nucleus. We know that electron cannot exist within a nucleus. Electrons are rotating around the nucleus in certain orbits. That is a known fact. Now we can prove it from the uncertainty principle. So for that, what we will use? First, we will assume that electron exists within a nucleus. We assume that electron may exist within a nucleus. That means, suppose this is the nucleus. Say the radius of the nucleus is r. Okay. Now we are assuming the electron exists within this nucleus. So electron can be anywhere within this nucleus. Electron can be anywhere within the nucleus. It can be here to here at any position. It can be. It can be at any position within the nucleus. So what would be the uncertainty in position of the electron? Uncertainty means that means, suppose if I am sure that electron can be within this region only, the circle I marked, then uncertainty should be within that region only. That means error is associated within that region only. But here our assumption is that electron can exist anywhere within this nucleus, anywhere within this nucleus. So it can be at the center here, it can be here, it can be here at any position. Therefore, maximum change, if I consider x direction only, so maximum change is from this end to that end. That means delta x can be the diameter of the nucleus. It can be anywhere within that diameter. We are talking about single direction. That's why I'm taking the diameter. So delta x will be twice of r. R is the radius. If I assume that the radius of the nucleus is of the order of 10 to the minus 15 meter, femtometer, if we assume it, for maximum number of elements, the nucleus is of that order. Order I am saying, I'm not taking value because there are so many elements. So I'm just saying the order of the nucleus is 10 to the minus 15 meter. Though only for heavy elements, radioactive elements, it will be 10 to the minus 14 meter. Otherwise, it is 10 to the minus 15. So in order I am taking 10 to the minus 15 meter. So that is the radius. So diameter will be twice of that. And that is the maximum uncertainty possible for position. So delta x is, say, 2 into 10 to the minus 15 meter. Okay, so from our assumption, we can say that. Now, if we use uncertainty principle, then momentum along that direction, that is along x direction. So we can write delta x delta px equals to or greater than equal to h cut by 2. Therefore, delta x delta px. Sorry. So delta x delta px greater than equal to h cut by 2 from uncertainty principle. Therefore, delta px greater than equal to h cut by twice delta x. You can easily write it. Therefore, minimum uncertainty, you observe here, delta px is greater than equal to delta px, that means error in measurement of momentum along x direction, uncertainty in measurement of momentum along x direction, that is greater than equal to h cut by twice delta x. So what is the minimum value? Minimum value will be delta x, h cut by twice delta x. This was greater than equal to. So minimum value will be the equality. That means suppose h cut by twice x is take a numerical value, say for our understanding, say it is 3.3 into something. 3 or say 3.3 is the value. Therefore, 3.3 is the value of h cut by twice delta x. So delta px should start from 3.3. It may be 3.3, 3.4, 3.5, etc., etc. So what is the minimum value? 3.3. So delta px minimum is h cut by twice delta x. So that is the minimum uncertainty in measurement of momentum. If it is so, then I want to know the minimum momentum value. Okay, first we can estimate this value. So minimum uncertainty, put the values. H cut means h by 2 pi. H cut means h by 2 pi twice delta x. So put the value h, that is Planck's constant, is 6.626 10 to the minus 34 joule second. 2 pi into 2, so it is 4 pi. Oh, another and delta x is 2 into 10 to the minus 15. So if I put these values and calculate it, it comes out to be 2.636 into 10 to the minus 20 kg meter per second. So the uncertainty in momentum is 2.636 into 10 to the minus 20 for our SI unit. That is the minimum uncertainty in momentum along x direction. Okay. If it is so, then tell me what should be the minimum value of momentum along x direction, not minimum uncertainty. I want the minimum momentum along x direction for that condition. We have estimated minimum uncertainty in momentum. That means the error in measurement of momentum is estimated to be this. Now I want the value of the momentum, minimum value of the momentum. Use the logic. There is no physics behind it. Use your logic. Suppose you are measuring this length. Okay, say the x is this. You want to measure this x length, and in measurement error comes out to be delta x. Okay, measurement error comes out to be delta x. Now tell me, what could be the minimum value of x? What could be the minimum value of x? I know, suppose I know delta x. Delta x means error in measurement of x. When I try to measure the length x, I got this amount of error. Say error I got is 0.2 centimeter. Suppose delta x I got say 0.2 centimeter. Then what could be the minimum value of x? Logically, can it be less than the error? Can the value be less than error? You want to measure 0.2 centimeter and you are saying error in measurement is 0.221. Is it possible? Error cannot be greater than your measured value. Error cannot be greater than the measured value. then what is the meaning of measurement? If the error is greater than the measurement, maximum error can be 100%. So in other words, the minimum value of x can be the error itself. That means if I say I want to measure the length x and my measurement error comes out to be 0.2 centimeter, then minimum value of x can be 0.2 centimeter. Below that is not possible. Practically, if I say my error is greater than my measured value, then it is meaningless. So my measured value cannot be less than the error. Worst case, it can be same as the error. That is the worst case. That means 100% error in measurement. Therefore, minimum value of x can be the error itself. Always remember it. Minimum value of the variable can be the error itself. So similarly, here we have measured the minimum uncertainty. We know the uncertainty in momentum. Therefore, what would be the minimum value of momentum? Minimum value of momentum can be the error itself. That means the uncertainty in measurement of momentum itself. So if the measurement error was 2.66 into 10 to the minus 20 SI unit, then that could be the minimum value of momentum along x direction. So minimum value of momentum along x direction could be this one. Because the uncertainty in measurement was that value. Your variable cannot be less than that. So minimum value is that. You cannot have the variable, your variable is momentum. Momentum cannot be less than that value. Less than the error, less than the uncertainty value. So this is your minimum value of momentum. Then from the relativistic mechanics, we know if I know the momentum, we can calculate energy from this relation. E equal to root over p square c square plus m naught square c to the power 4. P is the momentum. C is the velocity of light in free space, that is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second. M naught, rest mass of electron, we know 9.1 into 10 to the minus 31 kg electron mass. So if we put this value here, our momentum, we are considering the minimum. We don't know the momentum of the electron. We know one thing: minimum momentum of the electron, if the electron exists within the nucleus, would be this. So it is, there is a condition. Condition is that if that electron exists within the nucleus, then only the momentum, minimum momentum would be this. Because we have observed that minimum uncertainty in momentum was this. So then minimum energy. Why minimum energy? Because P is minimum. So energy will also be minimum. Because other quantities are constant here. So minimum value of energy can be estimated. So if we put the values, P is 2.66 10 to the minus 20. C is 3 into 10 to the power 8 squared plus m naught, mass of electron 9.11 10 to the minus 31 kg. I am writing it in this way: m naught c square whole square. So m naught is 9.11 10 to the minus 31 c square, 9 into 10 to the power 16 squared. So if we do this calculation, we get E mean as this. My suggestion, you just neglect this value and do the calculation. You neglect this quantity and do the calculation, and you will get back the same result. That means at the time of exam, you need not to do this calculation. You can neglect this part. Why? Because this value will be very small in comparison to the first value. So minimum value of energy comes out to be this value of joule. Again, we cannot understand because the value is so small. So what we will do when the energy is estimated to be very small, we write it in terms of electron volt. That means we divide the amount in joule by charge of an electron. Charge of an electron is 1.6 into 10 to the minus 19 coulomb. So if we divide it by this amount of charge, then we get 49.4 mega electron volt. Mega means 10 to the power 6. That means 49.4 into 10 to the power 6 electron volt we get. Is a very high. So if we assume that the electron does exist within the nucleus, then its minimum momentum comes out to be 2.66 in 10 to the minus 20 kg meter per second. And for that minimum value of momentum, the minimum energy the electron possesses when it is within the nucleus would be 49.4 MeV. Minimum, remember, it is the minimum energy of that electron. Electron can have any energy greater than that, but the minimum energy of the electron should be 49.4 MeV if the electron exists within the nucleus. That's my point. So what we have done, that first thing, we have assumed that electron exists within the nucleus, and then electron can be anywhere within the nucleus. So if we assume a particular direction, say x direction, then the uncertainty in measurement along x direction will be the diameter itself. That means delta x is twice r. If we assume that r is of the order of, that means radius of the nucleus is of the order of 10 to the minus 15 meter, then delta x will be 2 into 10 to the minus 15 meter. If we use uncertainty principle, then from uncertainty principle we can estimate delta px is greater than equal to h cut by twice x. So minimum uncertainty in momentum would be h cut by twice delta x. We are from greater than equal to, we are now writing equal to only, because we are considering the minimum uncertainty in momentum. We cannot handle inequality, better to use equality, and for that this is the minimum uncertainty in momentum, and it is estimated to be this. Now we know that any variable, a measured quantity cannot be less than the uncertainty itself. It cannot be less than the error of measurement. So if I want to measure the length L, and the error in measurement is 0.1 centimeter, then L cannot be less than 0.1 centimeter. Maximum possibility when the maximum value of error is 100%. That means the minimum variable value will be same as the error. That means minimum length would be the error itself, that is 0.1 centimeter. So same principle if we can follow, then the minimum value of momentum would be the error in momentum, uncertainty in momentum. So we are using P min same as the uncertainty in momentum. And in doing so, we can estimate the minimum energy. Minimum energy of what? Minimum energy of the electron if we assume the electron exists within the nucleus. So minimum value of energy should be this. Electron can have any energy greater than that, but the minimum value of energy would be 49.4 MeV if the electron exists within the nucleus. But experimentally, it is observed that even for radioactive nuclei, for uranium, thorium, for those radioactive nuclei, when beta decay occurs, the maximum energy comes out to be 4 MeV. That means during beta decay, actually, if we measure the amount of energy, then that maximum energy possible is 4 MeV. Whereas we are getting an energy which is much larger than that one. We are saying that if electron exists within the nucleus, then its minimum energy should be 49.4 MeV. That is more than 40 MeV, say 10 times greater than the possible value, experimentally observed value. So the assumption we have made that electron exists within the nucleus is not possible. So the assumption that electron exists within the nucleus is not possible, because due to that assumption, we got the minimum energy value as greater than 40 MeV. And that high amount of energy is not possible for any electron if the electron is assumed to be within the nucleus. So by this, we can say, this is the proof to say that electron cannot exist within the nucleus. Next, we'll do some numericals. The numerical problems from uncertainty is very, very easy. Like this one. What it says, compute the smallest possible uncertainty in position of an electron moving with velocity this. So velocity is given. Velocity is given. What you have to estimate? You have to estimate the smallest possible uncertainty in position. So you need to estimate delta x. Now we know, according to uncertainty, delta x, delta px greater than equal to h cat by 2. And what is p? Momentum is mass into velocity along x direction. So p equals to mvx. Therefore, delta px means m delta vx. So instead of delta px, you can write m delta vx. So if delta x, m delta vx greater than equal to h cat by 2. And what we require? We require this delta x. This is the question. We need to find out this value, delta x. But to estimate delta x, we require other quantities. H cat is known, m mass of the electron known. What about delta Vx? X is given, but we require delta Vx. So what to do? Now the same logic we have used before. What would be the maximum? What would be the maximum value of uncertainty in velocity? What could be the maximum uncertainty? That is maximum error in velocity. The measured value itself. Same logic. If you are measuring the length and your measured length comes out to be say 0.3 centimeter. You want to measure a length and that length value comes out to be 0.3 centimeter. What can be the maximum error in that measurement? Maximum error might be the measured value. That is, the whole thing is error. Whatever you have measured is error. That is the maximum possible. You cannot have error greater than the value. Error cannot be greater than the value. So maximum error is the value. That means maximum error in measurement of length can be the length itself, that is 0.3. So delta L will be 0.3 centimeter then. Same logic. Same logic here we want to use here. So delta Vx is actually the maximum error, maximum measurement error, maximum uncertainty in measurement of velocity. That is the velocity itself. So this quantity is now maximum. Delta Vx we obtained. Therefore, delta Px will be, this was our maximum value. So delta x will be the minimum value. Simple logic. Here we are saying we do not know delta Vx, but we know the maximum value of delta Vx. So maximum value of delta Vx can be the value itself, can be the velocity itself. So delta Vx we know, the maximum value of delta Vx we know. If delta Vx is maximum, then automatically delta x will be minimum. That was the question. You observe smallest possible uncertainty in position. Now we know all the quantities. H cut means h by 2 pi. So 6.626 10 minus 34, that is h by 2 pi into 2. So 4 pi. M is 9.1 10 minus 31 kg. Delta Vx is given. Put the values. You get the minimum uncertainty in position as this. Simple thing. Only use the logic and uncertainty. Same thing. It says find out the minimum uncertainty in energy state of an atom if the electron remains in the state for 10 to the minus 8 seconds. Do it. So again, the process is same. According to the question, though T is supplied, actually here T is given as 10 to the power minus 8 seconds. But what we require, if we want to use uncertainty principle, we need to find delta E. Therefore, we require delta T value. So same logic. We can have maximum value of delta T. Maximum value of delta T, that's delta T max. Maximum error, maximum uncertainty can be the value itself, that is T. So delta T max can be T. So delta T is 10 to the minus 8 seconds. Now put the value of delta E. So delta E mean will be this max. So put the values h cut 6.623 10 to the minus 34 by 2 pi into 2 into 10 to the minus 8 joule. So it comes out to be 5.27 10 to the minus 27 joule. Check whether you got this result or not. If not, then you must check with, if you have done some mistake in the calculation. So again, this is very small. So we should write it in terms of electron volt. So dividing it. So we are dividing it by charge of an electron 1.6 into minus 19 coulomb. So we get 32.9 micro electron volt. Very good. 3.29 10 to the minus 8 electron volt, that is 32.9 micro electron volt. Right. Last type of problem. Though this is not that different type, but still, what it says, the maximum uncertainty in position of an electron in a nucleus is this. So what is given? Maximum uncertainty in position. So delta x max is given, which is 2 into 10 to the minus 14 meter. Find the minimum momentum. H is supplied here. Okay, by the way, generally we use H equal to 6.626 10 to the minus 34 joule second. If the value is supplied, then we'll use that value only. So here we'll use this value only for H. Now what is the question? Question is minimum uncertainty momentum. Here, as per our question, delta x max is this. Therefore, delta px min. Oh, by the way, here minimum momentum. So same logic. First, we will estimate delta p min. Delta p min will be h cut by twice delta x max. Put the values, we get the result as 2.64 10 to the minus 21 kg meter per second. So that is the minimum uncertainty in momentum. But the question is momentum. You have to estimate the momentum. But again, we know the minimum value of momentum, minimum value of a variable can be the error itself. Minimum value of the variable can be the error itself. So minimum value of momentum can be the error in momentum, uncertainty in momentum. So P mean is same as delta P mean, and delta P mean is estimated. So we can get the minimum value of momentum.